Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title, we managed to interview Gareth Barry, which was a brilliant experience. I just want to say a massive thank you to BT Sport, who made it possible, and a massive thank you for you guys for making it possible as well, because if it wasn't for you supporting the content, these companies wouldn't reach out to us. But I just want to let you guys know that BT Sport are actually offering customers 30 days worth of BT Sport, where you can watch unmissable live football for £25 for 30 days, and there's no contract needed, so you don't have to stay with them. If you sort of purchase it this month, you don't have to stay with them. I'll leave the link down below in the description if you want to check it out. And like I say, a massive thank you to BT Sport, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Gareth Barry, I can't actually believe you're in front of me, to be honest with you. Obviously, before I start, I just want to say, thanks for everything you did for the club last season. I think you were a big part of it. Obviously, I just wanted to ask you, a few questions regarding, West Brom and stuff like that.
No problem. Back on.
Because it's nice to get, an insight of what the club's actually like.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you spent a few seasons at West Brom. What was it like working under Slaven Bilic?
I really enjoyed working alongside him last year. It was only the one season, but I could tell straight away what type of character he was, and I can understand why players like playing for him. He's a real genuine manager. Tells you exactly how it is, good or bad, which is, for a player, that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear, a pack of lies just to string you along. You want to learn, and whether that's a few home truths, that's what the manager's like. When he speaks, when you hear his interviews, sometimes you know exactly that character. He's a big fighter, but his team talks are very good too. So yeah, West Brom are lucky to have someone like him in charge.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Slaven Bilic, probably one of the best managers we've had in recent times, is absolutely brilliant. Obviously, you trained a lot with a lot of West Brom players, probably young and old, obviously from the academy, who probably got called up to training and stuff like that. But who was the best player that you've trained with, or the hardest? Obviously, you've always grew up like central defensive midfielder. Who was the hardest player to get the ball off in training?
Last season at West Brom,
Yeah,
definitely Mateus Pereira.
yeah, I think you can tell that on the pitch.
Yeah, considering he's not the biggest player, his legs are like tree trunks, and he knows how to protect the ball, and some of the skills and the tricks he's got is great to train with, and difficult to play against. And I was lucky enough to be on his team. So yeah, Mateus Pereira is a great signing for West Brom that they managed to keep hold of him.
Yeah, and obviously with the signing of Garner, Pereira, a few other players, Robinson, who do you think will actually get the golden boot for West Brom? Who do you think could be the top goal scorer? Obviously, there's a lot of talk with us getting a new striker in. I do believe that we do. I'm sure you probably do as well, looking in, obviously being at the club, playing there.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important that we get a striker as well?
Listen, we spoke about Garner, Robinson and Pereira. None of them are natural number 9, so to put pressure on them to score the goals is going to be a bit unfair, I feel, especially in the Premier League, where the quality is like going through the roof. Now, if they don't manage to get another striker, I think Hal Robson and Charlie Austin, if they're going to stay around, they're obviously going to have to step up their game and score the goals. So yeah, it's always going to be big for a team coming up to the Premier League that they improve on the squad, and if they can manage to get another striker to help Charlie and Hal get the goals, then it'll be great for the club to keep them in the Premier League. So it's a big couple of weeks, if you like, in the transfer market. Yeah,
and obviously we've spoke a lot about West Brom. I'd like to to ask you a few questions as well about yourself. Obviously, your CV in football's probably up there with some of the best. You've been a brilliant footballer. I've seen the way you've played over the years, even for teams like Villa, Everton and stuff like that. Who was the best and worst manager you've worked under, if you don't mind?
So the best manager who I will say I feel get the best out of me and really improved my game would be Martin O'Neill at Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I feel my game went to the next level with him. He made me a central midfielder consistently. He didn't mess with my position. I went from playing regularly in the Premier League to becoming an England international. He made me captain. So I'd say Martin O'Neill. And this has put me under pressure with the worst manager.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pick an individual, but if you're talking about a manager, West Brom, where we got relegated with Alan Pardew, I'm not blaming any individual, but I've mentioned him, but it's a tough one.
Yeah, and what's been your biggest achievement as a footballer? Like, what has been the time where you've looked back at the most and thought, I can't believe I've actually done that. I can't believe I'm one of the few players who have managed to do this. What stands out for you the most?
I think it's going to be my consistency around the top of English football, and that will probably be to manage to get them appearances in the Premier League, where I can look back and say I've made the most appearances in the English Premier League, which is such a big league globally across the world. My name's etched in there, so that's something I look back I'm very proud of.
Yeah, I think if you mention Gareth Barry to a lot of people, I do believe that it is sort of that household name where everyone knows who you are, everyone knows what you've done. Obviously, you've played for both Everton and West Brom. How do you see the game going tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's a big game for both clubs. Obviously, different results from the first game of the season. There'll be different levels of confidence going in, but if I speak about Everton first, they'll be going in full of confidence. Great performance to win at Spurs. But these are the games that if Everton are going to have a good season, they're going to need to have that mentality that they're going to need to put on a similar performance, because as soon as you switch off in the Premier League, it'll find you out. West Brom will be looking for that to happen. West Brom, obviously, there'll be maybe a lack of belief now because after that first home performance, but this is where Slaven will be really good this week, keeping the players motivated, keeping their belief high, and that certainly the younger players, to believe that it'll take one performance and that maybe going to Everton to win to kick-start the season. So looking forward to seeing the game and seeing how both teams react really from the opening game.
And obviously, like you've just said there, 3-0 loss to Leicester. Hopefully that's a bit of a kick in the backside for us, because like you say, the Premier League, I've not played in it. You have. You know how hard it is. Looking in and watching the games, you can see how hard it is, how teams can punish you. Do you think that West Brom could survive this season? There's been a lot of pundits. To be honest, I haven't saw one pundit what's saying we're going to stay in the league. So what's your opinion on it? Do you believe that West Brom have the quality, the mentality and the belief to stay in the Premier League this season?
Yeah, I think the dressing room should be listening to what you said there and using that as motivation. If everyone feels that, I feel the dressing, they got nothing to lose, and prove people wrong. I believe that there's quality in that dressing room that are good enough to stay in the Premier League, and certainly got the manager that's good enough to keep them up too. So yeah, I feel it's going to be a tough season for West Brom. It ain't going to be easy, but if they keep that belief, it'll take a couple of results to bring that confidence, and they've certainly got the quality in that dressing room to get the results to keep them in the league. So I'm fingers crossed that West Brom can stay up.
Okay, no worries, and hopefully we do, because it's important not only for the players to keep them, like players like Pereira. They're going to have a lot of interest from other clubs if they do well this season. It's going to be really tricky to stay up. But what score prediction for the game? What's your score prediction and goal scorers? And
well, I've said to the Everton guy 2-0 to Everton, but I better stick with that. I don't want to be two-faced, but West Brom to stay up this season.
Okay, cheers for everything obviously, like I said at the start, thanks for everything you did for my club. Thanks for giving me the time to interview you, and hopefully to see you around the Hawthorns in the future at a few games, hopefully.
Appreciate that. Thanks for your nice words and nice speaking to you too, mate. Take
No,
care.
see you later.
All the best. Bye.